Well, today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to interview Ben, get to know Ben a bit better behind the scenes. Who is he? So, mate, who are you? Introduce yourself.
This is going to be fun. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, look, my name's Ben. Benjamin Paine is my full name. I'm the managing director for the agency.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And tell me, how did you get into the position you are in today?
Jeez. Do you want the full story, or
Yeah, give us.
we're going to full backgrounds?
Yeah, how did you get into the marketing industry? Then how have you worked being 31? So young.
Yep. Thank you.
Not so young.
Yeah.
How did you work your way up to be a managing director at 31 years old?
Yeah, so it's originally from the UK. Moved out here sort of like 12, 13 years ago. What are we now? Yep, 13 years ago now. Moved out here. Moved out with a family. Actually originally went into sales. So worked in full-time sales at JB Hi-Fi.
Nice.
There you go. Worked there for 5-6 years, which really kind of gave me that. It did give me a bit of maybe business understanding, but sales was predominantly it. It was just sales training and understanding.
Selling TVs or what?
Laptops. Yeah, computers.
Yeah, makes sense.
Good fun. So I'm a bit of a tech nerd. So that was kind of the first job and where I started and met my now wife Haley at JB. So that was great experience to
happen.
Yeah, it was meant to happen. It's meant to do what I did. So, and then things started progressing from there. So I left that and started my own business. Always had a business brain, I suppose. So I left and started my own business. And Haley, at the same time, the wife, bought a business.
Yeah, wow.
So we both went into business really, really quickly. She bought a dance school.
How old were you guys at this point?
Jesus, so that would have been 8 years ago. So 23, 24, 23, 24. So yeah, she purchased the dance school, which she knew what she was doing in that space. But obviously we had to market it. And we didn't have the understanding of how to market the business or how to grow the business. So that's where a demand came for myself to go, okay, maybe I'll step up. I'll step into the marketing space. At the same time, I started my own business. I was in IT.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. So B2C.
Fixing laptop screens?
Fixing laptops, hardware repair, security. Yeah, the whole work. So software installation, computer fixing. So I did that, and I was doing that kind of part-time at JB and then kind of leaving JB and stepping into a full-time capacity.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to market that business and the wife's business, which just threw me into the deep end. So, I ran with it. No one told me what to do or what to learn. I just kept going with it.
So so you didn't do a degree?
No, so no education.
Yeah.
No education. No education. I was good in school. I left. I went to college in the UK, and I was studying. I was studying to go into med. So it was, totally different field to what I'm in now. But that was the sort of transition of what I was going for. Never went into actual education for digital marketing. Just did as many courses as I could. To get myself the education to be able to go, okay, look, I know what I'm talking about. I know this industry. I learn every service independently, learn how to build a website, and then learn to build another, and then built another, and just kept going. Learn design, learn the foundations and the fundamentals of UI UX, was in business, so got to learn business. Did every certification I could in any form of paid media or paid ads, so PPC, social media marketing. And learn how to rank and learn SEO, and started ranking both my business and the wife's business into very strong positions where we're geographically located.
Yeah.
And it just kept, success to success.
The marketing worked?
Sorry?
And the marketing
worked. It still works now. It's the same marketing. So yeah, it was good. It was, I think I'm still running the same ad campaign on the wife's dance school is the one that I set up when I first started. It is,
Jeez.
which is, yeah, it's had tweaks, but it's still the same, pretty much the same campaign.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of piggybacked, and then ended up picking up a role actually as a digital marketing, kind of like digital marketing assistant, specialist, admin, whatever you want to call it. Coordinator role, whatever they call them nowadays. And yeah, I did that for a national company. So I, really piggybacked and went into national business and did their marketing for them, built their websites for them as well, did their digital marketing in-house for about 6 to 7 entities that they owned at the time. Is this good? I'll keep going on the story.
Yeah, keep going.
I'll keep going.
How long were you there for?
Yeah, so then I did that for a year and a half, 2 years. And that's when I started noticing that like my expertise was getting to a standard, because I was getting approached. I had multiple people, I had job offers, and so it was kind of one of those things. But
did you have a particular area that you were
web and
specialist in,
web and SEO was kind of my forte.
Yeah.
Like I could build a website. I could still build a website now.
Yeah.
And SEO was just something that was such a demand for the job role that I was in. So I just kept learning and upskilling within that space. Still managed their paid marketing campaigns as well. So it was just full digital scope.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like my niche. And still had that sales background. I think that sales background
helps
very much,
yeah,
gave me that foundation from the get-go. So yeah, I was there a year and a half, and then I was looking for kind of that next step that didn't have kind of these parameters. Working for a big business or working for a corporation, you often will find yourself in a position of where you're restricted because of senior approval.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So being that I moved so fast and can move so fast, I never wanted to be in a position of where I felt that I was being held back.
Yeah.
So yeah, agency gig came up, which was in this agency.
Yep.
As a senior digital marketing specialist. So the agency went through some transitions and some people left. And there was a role to fill, and it was to fill a senior digital marketing role.
So what did that involve day to day?
That involved a lot. That involved the managing of pretty much a full paid media campaign. So everything in PPC and social media marketing, and managing the SEO team.
Yeah. I remember
that's a lot. That's a lot of work. Yeah.
Just headphones in, head down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work in that. Yeah. Yep. So that was a proper deep end, but kind of had the expertise to be able to fulfill the role.
Yeah. And then what was your next progression? How did you?
Yeah. So
how long were you in that position for?
Worked in that role for 3 to 6 months, I'd say. And just working with, Jody, the original founder for the business. I think just having that business understanding, having the sales understanding, having the marketing understanding, everything just coming together allowed me to then be able to speak into decisions that would change the course of direction for the business.
Yeah.
And was given really valuable insight into the business. And it got to a point of where the insight that was coming from myself was maybe more valuable than my position was.
Yeah.
And that's then when that transition started to happen of going, okay, we need to move myself from being in PPC into more being, well, actually, how to market a business here. You know how to market a lot of businesses, and you've worked for national companies, both, national organizations, but equally small SMBs in your own business, and be able to do it so successfully, so quickly.
Yeah.
It was almost a negative effect of not putting me on the front line to actually then talk to businesses coming in and going, if a business is coming in, they're going to want to talk to me because I'm going to be able to give them the insight of do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
It will work.
Yeah.
So that was the transition. So that's when then I started leaning into position change. I was kind of like a strategist, like head strategist role.
Yeah. Okay. So off the tools a little bit more, or?
Yeah. Less, like more just working with the team and
strategy.
Giving insight into different areas and assisting teams' capabilities and the understanding of business. But yeah, it was kind of like a head strategy role.
Yeah. And then from there, you were general manager?
Then into a general manager role.
Yeah.
So it just kept progressing. So another year went by, and business, everything that we were implementing, the strategy that not only was being implemented for clients, but the implementations that I was then heading up for the agency was just next level, next level, next level. And we were kind of making a splash. Like we going from an agency that's very young, a very young team. With a lot of agencies around us being, 20, 30, 40 years or 30 years. And there's these new guys on the block that are just smashing it and kicking goals. And it was these implementations that I was putting forward that was just successful after success after success. Not everything works, but I'm agile and quick enough to make sure that if I make a decision that it's going to be, you implement, you test, you learn, you fail, you move on, right? And you just got to keep moving. So that agility is what moved business fast. And because of that, then equally, again, it was just that decision to move me into a general manager role to just keep this momentum, because the momentum was carrying us. Going from a team of probably 4 or 5 people when I joined to a team of 13, 14 of us now.
Crazy.
That's fast. That's fast in business.
And then June last year, you were officially managing director?
June last year. So that was when kind of the acquisition for the business, working with Jody and being, how heavily involved I am in the business and have been for so long now. It was just a mutual agreement and partnership. Just made sense to put me into a director role. So managing director for the business, and that's it.
Awesome.
That's the journey of it.
So, and then what else do I say? Sorry, cut this out.
You can cut this. Yeah.
Where do I go from here?
You can talk. Yeah.
There you go. What were you thinking?
Work-life balance.
Yeah.
Education.
Yeah.
How do you do it without?
Yeah.
Recommendations to other people looking to get into it.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Something like that. Cool.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So being a director of a business, managing your wife's marketing for her business.
Yep.
And having a fresh baby.
Yeah. Sure do.
How do you manage it all?
And 2 dogs.
And 2 dogs.
And 2 little dogs.
Yeah.
The work-life balance thing is tough. It's a real thing in business.
Yeah.
Any business owner will know. There's a lot of hours. There's a lot of hours in office. There's more hours out of office. So it's for me, it's being present in time is probably the best thing. And being young in this as well. Like, a lot of managing directors are going to be, late 30s, early 40s, 50s. Generally speaking, I am young in this position. So I'm learning a lot in terms of that aspect of business. Understanding how to manage life and business is something that's new to me and still something that I'm trying to perfect. I think everyone's still trying to perfect that. It's not like you just do it. But for me, it's that being present in the time that you have. So when I'm at home, I try to be present at home. If it's just the difference of putting your phone at the door and not having your phone on you, that's a big difference, So just trying to find those time slots, especially with the, newborn. He's like a year and a half now, but when I get home, that's time that I need to spend with him so that I'm present with him because I know that I'm strapped for time elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that you dedicate time around certain people for certain people in your day, and make sure that time that you're dedicating to them is going to be quality time and not distracted with interruptions.
And I guess like dedicating time for you and Haley as well, because she would be busy managing her business.
Yep.
2 business owners, you power couple.
Sure. Yeah.
Goals.
Yeah.
We
do. You've just got to find that time. I think that is it. It's just, you have routines. So certain times a day of, when I come home, it's like X amount of hours that I make sure I spend time with the boy, and then he goes to bed, and then I spend time with the wife. And, I think as long as you're doing that and you're still creating that uninterrupted time is the biggest thing. Yeah, definitely.
And then give us some tips on how you stay up to date, not just in the marketing world,
Yeah.
but also business.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay up to date with everything? Because especially in marketing,
It's fast.
there's so many moving parts. There's so many new tools, there's new platforms, there's new strategies.
Definitely.
How do you stay up to date on all of that, as well as hold the ground here at Digital Nomads
Yeah, it's a good question.
and manage your time at home with your wife and little Ovi?
Yeah, I think this is something that I probably mentioned to you the other day. It's like finding a way to be self-motivated is like the best advice that I try to put forward to people. Is not waiting for somebody to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I've always, that's like, if anyone asks you, it's like, what's the advice that you give to people? That's my advice. I've got that kind of that intrinsic motivation to always make sure that I'm doing better and always want to be doing better. And I'm not going to wait for somebody to tell me that you need to be better at something.
Yeah.
And I think if you're always on that front foot of not waiting for somebody to go, you need to be better at this, or you're lacking in, and you're looking yourself at how can I be better? What can I do better? Then you're always going to be on the front foot. You're always going to be moving forward.
Yeah.
So I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to be fully satisfied and complacent.
Yeah.
And I think that's not where businesses go wrong. But I think that's where businesses like miss opportunity because they're not looking. Yeah. They're not looking for opportunity. They're sat there going, we're doing well. And that's fine for some business.
Yeah.
And that's the same. Like if businesses are going, what we've got's enough, I'm happy, then so be it as well. That's equally fine. But I'm always going to be in a position of where I'm eager to do more, eager to hit a next goal or a next target or what we're looking to achieve. And by continually driving that, that keeps us up to date or at the forefront.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
Yeah.
So I think, being able to instill that motivation yourself intrinsically yourself.
Yeah.
As opposed to having somebody having to lead you through it.
Yeah. You'll always have a ceiling. If that's the case.
Yeah. You can really hit some goals fast.
Yeah.
Really fast. So.
And what motivates you?
Goals are motivating for me.
Yeah.
So having a goal is motivating. So, people have different things of, whether it's goals, money, success, flashy cars, nice watches. I do like flashy cars and nice watches. I do.
That's what motivates you.
It's not what motivates me though. But what does motivate me is having a goal set or looking to hit a particular marker. So I'm kind of like milestone driven.
Yeah.
But I'm not long-sighted. So when somebody looks at milestones, people always, it's like a pet hate of mine. It's like what's your 5-year goal?
Yeah.
That is way too far.
Yes.
Like I set 3 to 6 month goals.
Yeah.
Because I believe that what you'll set in 2-3 years, I can do in 3 months. Yeah. So if I set these goals every 3 months, I look at the beginning of the year and where we are and, keep agency talk to agency talk. But, what we discussed early in the first 3 months, look at where we are now. It's like the 3 month goals of what was set, we've already smashed them.
Yeah.
So we just keep setting I keep setting whether it's myself individually or for the agencies. You hit these 3 month goals and your success is far faster.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. All right.
That's me.
What are your 3 tips for someone who's wanting to get into the marketing industry? What 3 tips can you?
Yeah. So find yourself motivation. That is the first. So don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do because you'll be waiting forever.
Yeah.
Learn as much as you can. You can be an expert in one thing, but learn as much as you can because you don't know where the overlap is going to come in useful.
Yeah.
People that are diverse in multi-skill sets and can speak to channels, business, marketing, sales, you name it, somebody that has that diverse skill set is far more valuable to an agency, but equally will become a far more valuable as an asset long term in their own career to do that. So find your own motivation, learn as much as you can, and then I think finally would be it's persistence. I think it's the last. It's like if you want a job, be persistent. The guy that we hired last here was persistent. He came to the door. He came to the door. He came to the door. He phoned. He researched. He didn't wait for somebody to tell him what to do.
No.
He upskilled as much as he could. And he rocked up to the door. Again and again and again.
And he's killing it.
And he's killing it. Persistency. So, don't wait for somebody. Be persistent. Learn as much as you can.
Awesome.
And you'll get into marketing and you'll be successful. And if you keep doing all of those things, you'll be very successful. Cool.
All right. That's a wrap. Nice to meet you, mate.
Good chatting.
Good chat.
Good chat.